What the hell going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rex here. Today we're gonna react to a Cultaholic video. Shout out to them. 10 giant botches and excellent WWE matches. Just off top, of course, I can remember just a couple. Probably, I cannot. I got a brain fart just then. But anyway, we go up to the video and see what videos they got up. Damn, I can't remember none. Probably, if I had to remember one, I can't remember off top.
Wrestling, right? Well, unless you're the person doing the botching, in which case probably not. Mistakes happen, and sometimes they're enough to ruin what was otherwise a perfect match. Other times, even with a massive boo-boo right in the middle, certain contests can overcome these errors and be fantastic in the face of
still
a
could be
glaring
great.
blunder. I'm Jack the Jobber from... Oh, hold on a second, that was wrong. Can we do that again? I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are 10 giant botches in excellent WWE matches. Join us. Number 10, Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam 2001.
Definitely.
SummerSlam 2001 was the
I
first
hate that
of
man right now.
WWF's Big Four pay-per-views to take place after the invasion of the Alliance. Up and down the card, there were examples of WWF wrestlers taking on those that had made their names in WCW and ECW, including Edge versus Lance Storm, The Rock versus Booker T, and Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Ain't that a
What
sight
happened
to
both
see?
WWF guys? This whole invasion storyline's a fraud, I tell you. Even though the storyline had more holes in it than a pair of my underpants, there was some good wrestling on the night, as was the case when hardcore champion Jeff Hardy defended his belt in a ladder match against Rob Van Dam.
I know that was a great
As
match.
you would expect from an encounter featuring two daredevils, the match was full of crazy spills and
I know it
thrills,
was.
but one of them didn't go quite to plan. As Hardy was dangling from the hook, holding the belt up, RVD attempted to kick him out of the air, but totally whiffed it. Van Dam went crashing backwards off the top rope, about 20 feet short of hitting his target, and Jeff was forced to drop down on his own moments later. Whoops. Number 9,
Damn,
Trish Stratus
I know that
versus
was-
Mickie James at Wrestle.
Damn, how the fuck? Why he just didn't get a ladder? What the fuck was the ladder? He trying to jump off the rope. They must did that in practice. Cause there's no way you would have thought you would have made that jump. Just off jump. Hell no, that don't even make sense. What, you gonna kick his feet?
WrestleMania 22.
Dang.
Remember when WWE didn't book Trish Stratus and Lita to have a face-off during the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, even though they were both in the match? That was dumb, wasn't it? Instead, Trish had a moment with Mickie James, which referenced their feud from the mid-2000s that culminated with this battle at WrestleMania 22. James had worked her way up from lesbian stalker to women's title contender and was facing off against the
I didn't know
object of
she
her
was married.
affections
That
for
shit
the
is
coveted
throwing me. That shit was
prize.
throwing me
The
off.
two had excellent chemistry together, resulting in one of the best women's matches in Mania history. The finish was supposed to be the Mixter hitting Trish with her own
Did she
stratisfaction
fall?
finisher, but the laws of physics had other ideas.
She fell.
James failed to get up on the ropes properly to hit the move as both wrestlers crumpled to the floor in an embarrassing heap before the challenger covered the mistake by winning with a mick kick. Don't worry, Mickey, they'll edit this out of future broadcasts.
Yeah, I know. I
Along
remember
with
seeing
me
that.
making this lovely gesture. Number 8, Roman
Definitely edit
Reigns
that shit
versus
out.
Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble 2021. At the time of recording, Roman Reigns is well over 1,000 days into his Universal Championship reign, but in reality, this should have ended just 5 months in. After retaining the gold over Kevin Owens at TLC, Reigns once again put his belt on the line against the prize
I don't
fighter
remember
at the
that.
2021 Royal Rumble, only this time in a last man standing match.
No wonder it was fucking pandemic. They probably eating the shit out of this. I don't remember that whatsoever. Whatsoever.
We all know the rules of these matches. If a wrestler can't get to their feet before a 10 count, they lose. Simple, right? Unfortunately, one person who forgot this was the tribal chief himself. Owens had handcuffed Reigns to part of the lighting rig, rendering him unable to stand. Paul Heyman was supposed to free the champion from his predicament before the referee could finish his count, but this didn't
The
happen.
keys didn't work.
Instead, the ref had to stop whilst the wise man fumbled about with the keys, making everyone involved look like a total chump. The worst part was that the match up to this point had been excellent, one of the best these two would ever have against one another.
And they was fighting in the
Number
goddamn.
7, Kurt Angle versus The Rock at No Way Out 2001.
They was at
Kurt Angle's world title
the Performance
against
Center.
The Rock at No Way Out 2001 was slightly hampered by the fact that everyone and their mum knew that Rocky was walking out with the gold. There was no way WWE were going to book Royal Rumble winner Steve Austin against Angle at WrestleMania X7 when the opportunity to do a rematch with The Rock was on the cards. Sure enough, this is precisely how it went down, although it took a little longer to get there than it should have. Rock threw Angle into an exposed turnbuckle and then drilled him with a rock bottom.
They don't do
which
that
was
no more, for
supposed
real.
to be the match's ending sequence. Instead, Earl Hebner counted 1, then 2, and then randomly stopped. Angle didn't kick out. Hebner just mucked it up. A visibly annoyed Great One, who had just put on a sensational main event with the Olympic hero, then begrudgingly picked his opponent up, hit him with another finisher, and finally scored the win. Did Earl think that Angle was supposed to kick out but didn't? Was he
Maybe
playing
he
a
got
rib?
the.
Was he thinking about how he helped screw Bret Hart at the 1997 Survivor Series? I guess
Why
we'll
he
never
kick out?
know. Number 6, The Rock versus Triple H versus Kurt Angle at SummerSlam.
I wonder why maybe he got the wrong finish. Maybe he thought he was supposed to just stay down. I mean, I don't fucking know. Damn. Boy, they be editing out a lot of stuff.
2000.
If you don't
6
catch it,
months
then you're
prior
not gonna
to No
catch
Way
it.
Out, Rock and Angle were involved in another world title match featuring a huge mistake, only this one took place right at the start. The main event of SummerSlam 2000 pitted champion The Rock against Kurt and Triple H, who were involved in their own bitter feud over the affections of Stephanie McMahon. This led to the two heels brawling before the bell and culminated in Trips delivering a
Well, didn't they have Kurt Angle as a stalker or somebody? A stalker over Stephanie, if I remember. If I can remember that correct, I think Kurt Angle was a stalker.
pedigree to his rival through the announce desk.
It broke.
Unfortunately, the
Yeah.
table broke
Okay, I remember
prematurely,
that.
sending Angle crashing down to the
That's
floor
when he had a
and giving
concussion.
him a whopper of a concussion. Sexy Kurt was so out of it that he can't remember most of the match to this very day. Still, against all odds and medical advice, Angle gutted it out and completed...
Yo, the amount of concussions this man used to have is insane. This man used to break his neck every week. This man used to get a concussion and just sit there for a second and get right back up. Man, they can't do that no more. That's why they crazy. I don't see how Triple H is insane right now. Because some of the shit they used to do was crazy. I know it was crazy.
his spots to perfection. I mean, this guy won the Olympics with a broken freaking neck.
Broken
You think a
freaking
measly
neck.
concussion was going to stop him? This storyline was already pretty damn melodramatic, so it's actually quite fitting that something as shocking as this should go down. Number 5, Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon at King of the Ring 2001. Bloody hell, Kurt, what is it with you in these matches?
That's what I said.
Or something. The wrestling machine more than lived up to that nickname at King of the Ring 2001, as he competed in not 1, not 2, not 4, but 3 matches on the same night.
Damn.
After his tournament semi-final and final matches, Angle took on Shane McMahon in a street fight that is remembered today as the bout that nearly killed the boss's son. A planned spot was for Angle to deliver a belly-to-belly...
Everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but majority of, look, kind of older people. I ain't gonna say older people, because I ain't shit but 29, but I remember this. I'm like, damn, is that playing? Like, he's smacking him through the thing. Like, I don't think that's playing, but, I hope he go through eventually. I think it happened about 3 times, then he go through.
Suplex on Shane through a pane of glass. Unbeknownst to the competitors, the gimmicked glass hadn't been installed, and what had been put there was, unfortunately, McMahon-proof. The poor lad got chucked into the glass, bounced
hit his
straight
head.
off it, and landed right on the top of his head. As if that wasn't bad enough, the two maniacs then tried the spot again, with the same result. Stop! Stop! He's already dead. These botches actually make the match more compelling, transforming a worked hardcore brawl into a genuine fight for survival. It's an awe-inspiring
Then he dragged
watch, but
him.
just make sure you view it on an empty stomach. Number 4, the Men's Royal Rumble match at Royal Rumble 2018. We could have talked about the ending to the 2005 Rumble here, but that story's been worn out more than Vince McMahon's quads. Also, it was a so-so Rumble, whereas this one is a true modern classic. On the night of the first ever Women's Rumble, the menfolk really upped their game, putting on one of the best examples the
That was the first ever Women's Rumble? That was crazy. Well, I wonder why it was that. Why they ain't been had one? They had a bunch of women, so why they ain't been? I don't know. That's crazy. That was the first ever one.
Format had seen in years. The final 6 men involved represented 2 different eras of the company. John Cena, Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio from the past, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura from the future. Actually, they were from the present, but they represented the future. They didn't time travel, as far as I'm aware. At one point during this final stretch, Cena and Reigns stood facing each other in the ring, expecting to get jumped by Nakamura and Balor.
Never
However,
happened.
for whatever reason, the 2 former NXT champions totally forgot their prompt. Cue Big Match John using his Big Match voice to loudly call for Shinsuke to perform the spots. The icon made no effort to hide his frustrations until eventually Finn and Shin got the hint. You might not be able to see Cena, but you could certainly hear him. Number 3, the Elimination Chamber match at Survivor Series.
They
2000.
said John Cena are terrible with calling spots. They are terrible. I wouldn't call it terrible because if you knew your spot, he wouldn't have to tell you. That's how I feel about it. But they said you could look. He got a whole compilation of him just calling spot.
At Survivor Series 2002, WWE introduced the world to its latest wacky invention, the Elimination Chamber. Drawn up by Eric Bischoff in his shed, this barbaric structure was wheeled out to test Triple H as the game defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Booker T, Kane, Rob Van Dam, Chris Jericho, and eventual winner Shawn Michaels.
I'm just
One of the
a
spots
sexy
designed
boy.
to showcase this new
Sexy
plaything was
boy.
RVD hitting a 5-star frog splash off the top of one of the pods onto a
Don't tell me it
Triple
broke.
H. A nice idea in principle, but in practice it damn near killed the future COO of the company. Van Dam caught Hunter in the throat with his knee on the way down,
Damn.
crushing his larynx and causing him to writhe around in legitimate pain. As he was supposed to last until the end of the match and be pinned by HBK, Triple H had to gut out the remainder of the bout with a flattened
Damn.
larynx. Say what you will about Triple H's supposed politicking and questionable booking decisions, but between this and his 2 in-ring quad tears, I think he might actually be invincible. Number 2,
That's
Kurt
crazy.
Angle versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19.
I told you Kurt Angle goddamn. He just go kill. That's why his neck so goddamn big. He ain't broke the motherfucker so many times. He ain't got concussion. He just fucked up. They need to give Kurt Angle whatever that he making. They need to throw him a little more. Cause that shit's
If
crazy.
you look up the wrestling term botch on Wikipedia,
Kurt Angle.
the first picture you will see is a human chunk
Oh,
of
well,
beef
yeah.
flying through the air, trying and failing to achieve a full rotation. That chunk of beef is Brock Lesnar. Lesnar was set to face off against all-time rival Kurt Angle. There he is.
But look,
again in the main event.
they said he used to do that all the time though. Before that, I guess he did it, when he was back in the day. But I remember they said he used to do it all the time, and somebody told him to do it again. Did they ever say who told him to do it, or they had an idea who told him to do it? Because he never said who told him to do it.
Event of WrestleMania 19, and WWE officials wanted to add some special sauce to this meaty wrestling sandwich. That sauce came in the form of a shooting star press, a move the Behemoth had famously pulled off numerous times
That's what I'm
prior to
saying.
his main roster call-up. It might have worked in the Kentucky Armory, but the next big thing didn't have as much luck on the grandest stage of them all. As Brock leapt off the top rope towards Angle, he slipped and landed face first on the mat,
Damn.
just short of his intended target. Had his neck not been as thick as a truck tire, there is a very real chance that the beast might have been paralyzed or
Shit.
worse. The upshot was he suffered a nasty concussion and never climbed to the
He
top
never
rope
climbed that
again.
motherfucker
Number
again.
1, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, I hate you, motherfuckers. Yeah, I know. I hate when y'all talk about the Undertaker. Okay, the man didn't catch him. That's not the Undertaker's fault. The man didn't catch him. He ain't catch the dead man.
If you were playing Wrestling Family Fortunes or
When you
Wrestling
got somebody
Family Feud for our
16
American viewers and
running
Les
at you
Dennis
full
or Steve
speed,
Harvey
but
asked you to name the greatest WWE
head first,
match
too. That's the
ever,
crazy
you would
thing.
do well to reply with this one. HBK's first WrestleMania clash with The Undertaker earned every single one of its 30 minutes as both legends showcased what had brought them to the dance. Expertly paced, brilliantly executed, and deeply emotional, this established both men's legacies and saved Mania 25 from being a bit of a washout of a show.
Yep.
But had things gone slightly differently, it could have ended in tears. As Taker went to hit Michaels with a dive to the outside, the showstopper pulled the cameraman in front of him at the very last second. This was actually wrestler Sim Snooker, aka Deuce in disguise. Unfortunately, he failed to catch the Phenom, who lawn darted himself into the center of the earth instead.
Damn. That one Undertaker fault. We're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna ride past that one. But anyway, yeah, some of the moments you're not really gonna see. They're not gonna show that. That's why half of these moments I don't be remembering. Only way you remember, if you remember, you can look it up and you can find pictures of it. But video is hard to find some of this shit. Like, man, I can't remember half this shit because they edited the shit out. Only way, like I said, only way if you had bought a DVD back in the day and all that. But other than that, yeah, it's hard to find some of this shit. If y'all have any more moments, any moments you want to share, then I can probably look up and find. Just tell me. Like the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace. Have a good day. Have a blessed day. Can't forget that.